200 BC up into the present moment and beyond. Because if you know the past, if you engage in Sankofa and retrieve the knowledge of the past, you apply that knowledge today and you build for the futures that are ultimately coming. But I want to point out a couple of simple things and I'll be done. On this timeline, we document the significance of the accomplishments, historical accomplishments in Kemet, the country that is also known as Egypt. Kemet is the original name of the oldest documented civilization known to mankind, and I'll be speaking more about this in my workshop this afternoon. And so we talk about the creation of the first building ever made by Imhotep, built 2600 BC. A 19-story skyscraper is still standing, and you can see all of these things right now. That's why I've been taking groups to Egypt on study tours since 1987 to show them what I've never been taught in school. Even though I attended predominantly black schools all of my life, I didn't learn any of this information until after I graduated from college. And I became aware of what I refer to as forbidden knowledge, information which is still not being taught in schools today, information which some people want to forbid from being taught right now. This is 2024 going on 2025. There are people right now who don't want you to know a little bit of information that I'm going to drop on you all right now. Why? Because knowledge is power. That's right. And if they can restrict your access to knowledge, then you will be powerless. I don't care who you pray to or how long you pray. Without the knowledge of how to utilize those prayers, you will remain powerless. Right? So, run through this timeline real quickly and I'm done. We show here the accomplishments of African people, documented accomplishments of African people, the first building, the first culture, the first civilization. These are all sites that people see on our study tours to Egypt. I show you the images of the people, what they did and when they did it, and you can see beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are, in fact, African people. There's no question about this. I don't have to make anything up because I'm showing you the receipts. History speaks for itself. But what's important is to put everything in context. Here is 832 BC. 832 BC is when Homer wrote the Iliad and the Odyssey. That is the beginning of European literature. 832 BC. Thousands of years after Africans had been reading, writing, and telling their story, building dozens of libraries that contain tens of thousands of papyrus scrolls, books, documented information. Thousands of years before there was civilization in Europe. And then following along this timeline, we have 776 BC, is when Romulus and Remus founded Rome. So right here, on this timeline is where European Greco-Roman culture and civilization begins, thousands of years after documented African history and culture. And it continues. But the most important part of this timeline that I want to leave you with is this little area here in blue. From 1444 to 1888 is a period of black history, Negro history. This is the Ma'afa. So anytime anybody begins your history here in the blue, you're going to have to lose. You will have been written out of the respectable commentary of human history, and you will not have access to all of this documented information, which will empower you, help you know how to manage the house that holds your spirit. So what we have to do, specifically at this particular point in time in history, we got to save the planet. That's right. We got to save the world. That's what we have always done. Yes. And this desire, this energy, this power, this consciousness is needed now more than at any point in time in history. Amen. Brothers and sisters, as I wrap up, yep, I'm done. So as you wrap up, I want to encourage you all to move into 2025 with a great commitment to yourself, your authentic self, not this false perception of reality that has put us in the hell that we've been living in and been comfortable living in for all our lifetimes. Let's do better, brothers and sisters. Amen. Come on now.